everyone, it's Rebecca the dietitian, and today I wanted to talk to you about this virus situation. I'm going to clear up some of the terms you might have been hearing that are a little bit confusing and some of the situations surrounding the virus that I thought were a little bit confusing. And then we're going to go into some ways that you can actually benefit from this virus, some of the good news and some ways that you might be able to benefit. So are you ready for some good news, some truth, some explanations, and some good news? That's what we're going to do today. Social distancing. I didn't understand it at first. I kind of thought it might be an overreaction. I am pretty healthy. It doesn't seem like, with the statistics we have right now, that I am likely to be severely affected by this virus. And so why do I have to social isolate? Why do I have to stay home? Why can't I go live my life if I'm not personally too afraid? I don't want to get the virus, but if I'm not too afraid of getting it. Well, first of all, you never know. You never know how your body's going to react to an illness, but more importantly, the idea of social distancing or social isolation is that if I'm running around town and I'm healthy and I'm just ignoring all of this and I get exposed to this virus and then I'm still running around town, maybe my body is fighting it off, but I'm contagious and I don't even know it. And I go still to another store and I walk by 6 other people who are immunocompromised. And what does immunocompromised mean? That means they have a weakened immune system for some reason, like maybe they're elderly, and our immune systems kind of gradually decline along with other things as we get older, or maybe they've had cancer, or maybe they've had lung problems, and I don't know it, and I, walk by them and reach for something right next to them and I breathe on them, and they could get the virus potentially from me. That's the problem. That's what they're worried about. We don't know everything about this virus yet, so at this point it seems pretty contagious, and it seems that people who are healthy without symptoms, who are healthy, might be able to transfer this. So that's why it's the responsible thing for society for you to socially isolate, and that means just stay home. Be conscientious. That's the 6 feet of distance between you and other people. And we'll talk more about that later, about how that can actually be beneficial for you in your life. But I wanted to explain what that is and why you might consider doing it. One other reason is that it's what we call flattening the curve. You might have heard that term. Flattening the curve is not about going on a diet program and losing a bunch of weight while while this virus is going around, although we might talk about that, how not to gain a bunch of weight during the virus, isolating next time. That's in a whole nother video. But flattening the curve is not about flattening our curves. It's about the spike in cases of the virus. And we don't want to see like a whole bunch of people getting this virus really quickly, because it's going to overwhelm the healthcare system. Most of our protective gear, like masks and gloves and things like that, and even surgical supplies, come from overseas, and a lot of it's from China, and we're not getting that stuff right now. And y'all know I work at a hospital, so when I'm at the hospital now, we're short on masks. So that means that your caregivers are at risk of getting the virus when they're trying to take care of you and your loved ones who are affected, and there's not enough masks. If I can't treat someone, if I don't have a mask, we're going to have to limit your care. We might get sick, and there just might not be enough doctors and nurses to take care of you and your loved ones if you get it. So that's why we want to flatten the curve. We don't want so many people getting this at once that we're overwhelmed with patients and we don't have enough gear to take care of them. So that's why we want to flatten the curve. If we all do our part and, try to prevent the spread of this, then not as many people will get it. If we all are eventually, exposed to this, which is likely, just like the flu, we're all eventually exposed to it if we're out and about living our life. If we're all eventually exposed to it, at least we won't all be exposed to it at once, and it will, we won't have as many people overwhelming the hospitals and the healthcare system. So that's just explaining some stuff that was a little bit confusing for me at first, and I hope that helps. If you have questions, just message me, email me, comment below. Just let me know that you have questions, and I'll try to explain things more clearly. But that's social isolation and flattening the curve. Here's the good news about this virus at this time in the world. This is a time in our society where, first of all, a lot of people are able to work virtually, work from home. We're able to connect on a level of like cell phones and computers that we weren't until recent history. Another great thing about that is that doctors from around the world can communicate with each other and help fight this thing. We are better equipped with science and communication around the world to tackle this, and we're already making some serious progress. They've already figured out how to test to see if you have it really quickly. They've isolated the virus. They've figured out what's causing this. You know, it took a couple of years to really clear up what AIDS was, for example. So we're really tackling this very rapidly. Hopefully they're going to find, you know, a cure or a preventative measure for this, but they're not there yet. But anyway, it's there's hope for it, and it's a great time in history to be able to fight this, battle this. Stay tuned for progress there. Here's the thing about quarantine. I know that myself and just so many people I know in life normally are so busy. We're just always on the go. We're always go, go, go. We don't want to miss anything. We have FOMO. And I don't know about you, but myself and a lot of people I know have a lot of things we wish we could have been doing in our lives when we were busy. You know, I had, you know, a bunch of books on the shelf that I thought, oh, when I have time, I'm going to read this. In fact, a lot of us pay for vacations where we pay a bunch of money so that we can go sit around and do nothing and read and just kind of relax. And guess what? Right now, you're just sort of being forced to do that. So one thing not to do is sit home and just spend all your time watching the news. There's actually studies that correlate like the amount of time watching the news, which is pretty stressful. How they function is they sell the news based on drama, and they don't always tell you all the good news. It's more of the drama stuff. So it could be very, very stressful to sit there watching the news or the negative information on social media. So maybe check in, stay informed, but I wouldn't advise watching the news constantly all day long. Stay informed and then move on with your life and maybe tackle some projects that you didn't have time for before. Organize your closets, go through your papers, go through your files, get rid of stuff you don't need, clean your house, deep clean your house, do your spring cleaning now, connect with friends, call, stay connected via phone and video chats, which is another cool thing about this time in life. We can video each other if we want to talk. So consider all, maybe exercise, get online, and you can go on YouTube and find how do I meditate? Maybe I've always wondered how to meditate. This would be a great time in your life to learn how to take the time that you have to learn how to meditate or to learn how to do yoga. Try the different versions of yoga and see what you like. So take advantage of this time. I bet that you have some projects and some things that you kind of always said, well, when I have more time, I'm going to clean out my email inbox. I'm going to go through all the photos on my phone and organize them into files so that I can actually find them when I want to look at a photo. I'm going to print some of them and put them into albums. Take the time to do some things that add joy to your life, some things that you've always wanted to do, if you had more time, or things that you would do if you were on vacation and it was a rainy day. So watch an old movie, read a book, check out some magazines, go to the well, I'm not sure the library's open, but the libraries now are online too. So maybe go online, check out your local library opportunities, and watch some TED Talks, learn some things. Watch all my YouTube videos. You'll learn a ton about healthcare and wellness if you watch all of my YouTube videos that I've been making for a long time now, because I am the nutrition and healthcare nerd, so I learn it so you don't have to. And anyway, just wanted to clear some things up. Ask me if you have any questions. Tell me what you want to know. How can I help you get through this? What are you worried about? Just like I'm here for you. So message me, email me, comment below, and we will get through this together. I'm thinking about y'all. Bye.